In this video, I'm going to talk about the fundamentals of DC circuits. The basics. What is a conductor and an insulator? Conductors are the materials that contain the electrons that are loosely connected to the nucleus. On the other hand, in the case of insulators, the electrons are held firmly to their nucleus. Now you can see it over here that electrons are available in all the materials, but the point over here is that how they are connected to the nucleus. If they are held firmly, they will not be able to move. Thus insulator, no conduction. Whereas if they are loosely connected to the nucleus, there is a scope that they can move. Hence, conductors. Electric charge. Denoted by capital Q, the unit which is used to measure it is known as coulomb, where 1 coulomb is 6.24 into 10 raised to power of 18 electrons. Very important. The formula is Q is equal to I into T, where I is known as current, which is measured in ampere, and T is nothing but time period, which is measured in seconds. So that means 1 coulomb is equal to 1 ampere second. Ampere second. Also, if I am going to talk about current, I will become equal to Q by T, that is ampere per second. So this is electric charge. Potential difference. So first of all, talk about this circuit diagram which is available with us. Here we have a battery, it's a lamp, a voltmeter and an ammeter. Voltmeter is always connected in parallel, whereas ammeter is always connected in series. Why? Because current in the case of series circuit remains same and the voltage in the parallel combination remains same. So now, for a continuous current to flow between 2 points in a circuit, a potential difference or voltage is required between them. So that is nothing but a difference which is going to be created in this circuit. So the current is going to flow from the higher potential level to the lower potential level, that is from positive to the negative. So this is known as potential difference. Resistance. So resistance is nothing but the opposition to the flow of current. This is also known as the friction. The property of resistance is to limit the value of current in any conductor. The unit of resistance is given as ohm, where 1 ohm is defined as the resistance which will have a current of 1 ampere flowing through it when 1 volt is connected across it, that is R is equal to potential difference divided by current, and this value is given with the help of Ohm's law, and in the next coming slides we will be talking about Ohm's law as well. So you can see the unit is ohm denoted by ohm, this symbol. R is equal to V by I. Here a very important point is there with regard to the resistance, that is conductance. So conductance is nothing but the reciprocal of the resistance, denoted by capital G. So G is equal to 1 by R. So if resistance is high, conductance will be less, and if resistance is less, conductance will be high. The unit of conductance is Siemens, capital S, also known as mho, that is opposite of ohm. Linear and non-linear devices. Talk about the linear and non-linear devices, let us just see first of all this diagram. The circuit diagram consists of 2 resistors, R1 and R2. R1 is a fixed resistor, whereas R2 is a variable resistor. So what is a variable resistor? First of all, just see at this arrow. This signifies that the value of the resistance can be changed. Potentiometer can be there, or rheostat. These are the example of variable resistor. A supply is there, again the ammeter is there in series, and the voltmeter is there in parallel to calculate the voltage across R1. So now let us assume that we have set the value of R2 to be some equal constant value. That is, we are not changing its value now. When the current starts flowing in the circuit, we need to check the value of current flowing in the circuit and the voltage across R1. So by taking the values, we can easily plot a graph. And the graph comes out to be straight line passing through origin. So in all the cases when we are having a straight line passing through origin, those are known as linear devices. That means voltage and current are linearly varying with each other. On the other hand, if this is not a straight line passing through origin, for example this case, these are known as non-linear devices. So the non-linear devices can be, the examples are diode, transistor, etc. Ohm's law. Ohm's law is only applicable in the case of linear devices. So what is Ohm's law? Ohm's law states that the current I flowing in a circuit is directly proportional to the applied voltage V and inversely proportional to the resistance, provided the temperature remains constant. So this is a very important point over here. The temperature remains constant, because if the temperature is going to change, the value of resistance will also change. Hence, voltage and current will not obey Ohm's law. That is, I is equal to V by R, or V is equal to IR, or R is equal to V by I. If any of the two quantities are available with us, we can easily calculate the value of the third quantity. Now, in the terms of resistance, what is conductor and insulator? So conductor is a material which is having a low resistance. Now, I hope you all are able to understand. If the resistance is low, the value of current will be high. That means conductor. Examples are copper, aluminium, brass, platinum, silver, gold, carbon. On the other hand, what is an insulator? Which have the high value of resistance, or we can say low value of conductance, because both are inversely proportional to each other. Therefore, a very less amount of current or doesn't allow electric current to flow through it. Various examples can be plastic, rubber, glass, etc. Electrical power. So what is power? Power is the product of potential difference and the current. The unit of power is watt. So power is given as V into I. So with the help of Ohm's law, we can substitute the value of V is equal to IR. Hence power comes out to be I square R. Also power comes out to be V square by R by using the same Ohm's law. That means if voltage or current is given, we can calculate power. If only current and resistance is given, we can calculate power. Also, if only voltage and resistance is given, we can calculate power. So that means we have total 3 formulas available with us over here so as to calculate the value of power. Electrical energy. So electrical energy, the formula is given as power into time, where power is V into I and time T, and the unit of electrical energy is joules. So in many of the cases, you must have seen the energy meter installed at your homes to check the usage of your electricity at homes. That is known as energy meter, which is used to calculate the energy consumed by your house. Generally, we say that 1000 units has been consumed, 500 units has been consumed, etc. So what is a unit? 1 unit is nothing but kilowatt hour. So let us see what is a kilowatt hour. This is a commercial unit. So 1 kilowatt hour is 1000 watt hour, and 1 hour is equal to 3600 seconds. So it comes out to be 3.6 into 10 raised to the power of 6 joules. So this is very important formula for calculating numericals or for the objective paper. So till now, these are the topics that we have discussed. Okay, thank you so much.